Have you ever, stared out at the ocean and just for a second felt like it was staring back?
Mm-hmm.
Like this huge dark eye just rising from the deep, watching, waiting, holding secrets.
Yeah, it's a powerful feeling.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into one of those places that really feels like that. The Great Blue Hole of Belize. Sometimes people even call it the Black Hole of Belize.
Right. And, on one hand, science gives us a pretty straightforward explanation. It's a natural sinkhole, basically a collapsed cave system. Impressive, but natural.
But that's just the surface, isn't it?
Exactly. Because when you start digging into it, the geology, the history, the stranger stories, you find people talking about it being way more like a portal, maybe.
Yeah.
Or an alien marker, even, government cover-ups.
And that's what we're here for today. This isn't just some pretty spot for divers, though it is that too.
Definitely.
It's genuinely one of the weirdest anomalies on the planet. So our mission is to explore that possibility that maybe this giant blue hole holds, well, a lot more than the official story tells us.
So yeah, let's get into it. It's going to be quite a journey.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. What is this thing? Where is it?
Yeah, right. So it's located off the coast of Belize, maybe about 40 miles out, pretty much right in the center of a place called Lighthouse Reef.
And seeing it from the air, wow, it's stunning.
Oh, absolutely.
It's this perfect circle, almost geometric,
Mm-hmm.
Deep, dark blue against that incredibly bright turquoise water of the Caribbean.
Yeah, it's about 1,000 feet across, and it goes down over 400 feet.
It really does look like nature just carved a giant pupil right in the middle of the ocean.
That's a good way to put it. And the, let's say, mainstream scientific view, the safe explanation, is that it started as a limestone cave system, way back, like over 150,000 years ago.
Or in the last ice age, right, when sea levels were way lower.
Exactly. So it was dry land back then. Then the ice age ended, the glaciers melted, sea levels rose, and eventually the whole cave system flooded.
And the roof just couldn't hold.
Pretty much. It collapsed inward, creating this massive vertical shaft underwater, a sinkhole. That's the standard story.
But then things get a bit more mysterious, especially after Jacques Cousteau showed up in the 70s.
Ah, yes. Cousteau, he really put it on the map, didn't he? Called it one of the best dive sites in the world.
He did, and his team went deep, and they found something crucial.
The stalactites.
Exactly. Huge stalactites hanging down there in the underwater caves, like over 300 feet deep.
Which is incredible because stalactites, well, they only form in dry caves, exposed to air.
Right. So that was the definitive proof. This place was dry land once. A whole landscape now lost underwater.
That discovery alone is amazing. It confirms this connection to an ancient, submerged past.
But it didn't stop there, did it? There were other reports, maybe less official ones,
Mm-hmm.
from Cousteau's crew, from later divers.
Yeah, the stranger details, as some call them. People started talking about formations down there that just didn't look natural.
Like what?
Things like weirdly precise right angles in the rock, block patterns. Some even claim they saw what looked like actual carvings, markings, almost like symbols.
Whoa. Okay, so not just natural erosion.
That's what the whispers started suggesting.
Mm-hmm.
Did Cousteau's team find evidence of maybe a lost civilization? Something that got quietly, left out of the official reports.
And that sort of planted the seed for all these other theories.
It really did. And over the years, more divers went in. Some came back with stories that were pretty unsettling.
And some didn't come back.
Sadly, yes. Some never came back at all.
Those details, the unnatural shapes, the potential symbols, it really forces you to think beyond just geology, doesn't it?
Absolutely. If it wasn't just a cave, if there were markings, it points to a much deeper history, maybe connected to the people who lived there.
Which brings us to the Maya, right? Belize was the heartland of the Mayan civilization.
Precisely. And the Maya were, deeply connected to astronomy, to cycles of time, and the balance between, this world and the next, or the underworld, rather.
And caves were a huge part of that belief system.
A massive part. For the Maya, caves and sinkholes, cenotes, weren't just holes in the ground. They were seen as portals, gateways. Specifically, gateways to Xibalba.
Xibalba, the Mayan underworld.
Yeah, the realm of gods, spirits, often a place of challenge and transformation. And they believed these deep, dark openings were the way in.
And we find evidence of this, right? Offerings in caves.
All over Central America. Pottery, figurines, tools, sometimes even human remains, suggesting sacrifices left in caves and cenotes, clearly as offerings to the underworld deities.
So take that belief and then look at the Great Blue Hole. thousands of years ago, before it was completely flooded. Maybe it was this enormous cave entrance.
Exactly. Could the Maya have seen that as the ultimate gateway? The main entrance to Xibalba?
Wow.
There are even, fringe claims, unofficial stories of divers finding Mayan artifacts deep inside the hole. Figurines, tools, bones. Nothing officially published, of course.
But the stories persist.
They do. And if true, it suggests sacred rituals were performed there. Some people even take it further and speculate. Could the collapse of the Mayan civilization in the 9th century be somehow linked to this site?
How so? What's the connection?
The idea, pretty speculative of course, is maybe they tried to interact with the Xibalba too much, tried to open the gateway too far, and something went wrong.
That's a wild thought, linking a civilization's decline to a single spot.
It's definitely out there. But it shows how powerfully symbolic this place can be.
Okay, so Mayan gateway is one idea, but what about something not human? You mentioned the geometry.
Right, the geometry. From above, it's just uncanny and almost perfect circle. You don't see it from a boat, but from the air, it looks like a target, a bullseye.
Like a landing marker.
It's exactly what some theorists suggest. Not natural, not Mayan, but maybe extraterrestrial. A mega structure built by aliens.
Like the Nazca lines or something. Things only visible from the sky.
Kind of, yeah. You look at those massive designs in Peru, or the pyramids in Mexico and Guatemala, often aligned with stars. Things meant to be seen from above. Could the blue hole be another one, just carved into the sea instead of the land?
A cosmic signpost.
Or a beacon, that's the idea. Maybe calling down to something. Or maybe even calling up from the depths.
That's unsettling. If it's a beacon, what's it calling?
Exactly, that's the chilling question, isn't it?
Okay, let's go even further out there. There's a theory that this isn't just a hole or a marker, but an actual doorway.
Yeah, the portal hypothesis. This is probably the most disturbing one for many people. Not just a hole in the ground, but a tear in reality, a natural stargate.
What makes people think that, beyond the basic mystery?
Well, some divers report really strange sensations down there.
Yeah.
Things like feeling the water itself vibrating, like a low hum coming from the rock.
A hum. Weird.
Yeah. And others talk about seeing flashes of light in the total darkness, unexplained lights. And then there are the disappearances we mentioned. Diving is risky, yes. Accidents happen. But some cases at the blue hole just feel different. Experienced divers go down and they vanish, utterly. No body, no equipment, nothing.
Just gone.
Just gone. So the theory, or the speculation is, maybe if you go deep enough, at the right time, under the right conditions, you don't just drown, you slip through.
You cross over into another dimension.
That's the idea, that the blue hole isn't just geology, it's an anomaly. A weak spot, maybe, between worlds.
Wow, okay. That's a lot to take in. And of course, where there's mystery, there's often talk of secrets, government secrets.
Ah, yes, the cover-up angle. You remember the Richard Branson expedition in 2018 with the submarines mapping the hole?
Vaguely, yeah. They broadcast some of it, didn't they?
They did. But apparently when it came to releasing all the data they gathered, only, let's say, selected information was made public.
So why hold stuff back?
Well, that's the question conspiracy theorists jump on. Did they find something they didn't want us to see? Structures that look too perfect to be natural. Maybe weird creatures.
Unknown life forms.
Possibly. And there are also claims, pretty persistent ones, that governments Belize, maybe the U.S. are constantly monitoring the hole. Sonar, satellites, that kind of thing.
Why would they do that?
The theory there is that maybe the hole isn't just deep, maybe it's a connection point, a geological weak spot linking to huge underground cavern systems.
Going deep under the earth? Maybe even hollow earth.
That's where some theories take it, yeah. The idea that our planet isn't solid, that there are inner realms.
Right, I've heard of that. Lost civilizations, maybe non-human entities living inside the earth.
So if the blue hole connects to that network, the fear might be that disturbing it could cause, I don't know, massive earthquakes, tsunamis across the Caribbean.
So the official story is just keep it quiet, keep the tourists happy.
That's the idea in that theory. Show people the pretty fish and coral, but hide the deeper, potentially dangerous truth.
Okay, let's shift back to the divers for a second, because those personal accounts are often the most chilling.
They really are. I mean, imagine being down there 350 feet deep, total darkness except for your light beam.
Yeah.
And then you see something, shadows moving on the cave walls. But they're wrong. Tall, elongated figures kind of sliding across the rock. One diver described it like they were walking in another dimension that was just briefly intersecting airs.
That would be terrifying.
Something down there wanted him gone. An active presence pushing him out.
And he heard whispers.
When he surfaced, yeah. Swore he heard whispers, but in no language he knew.
And the lights. You mentioned lights before.
Right, little orbs, like underwater fireflies drifting in the dark.
Yeah.
But some divers said the deeper they went, the more these lights seemed organized, forming patterns, almost deliberate.
Like they were arranged, not random.
That was the feeling some reported. And again, it comes back to the disappearances. Yes, accidents happen, nitrogen narcosis is real, equipment fails. But the number of really skilled, experienced divers who vanish there without a single trace, it feels unsettlingly high to some people. It makes you wonder, even if you try to be rational.
Almost like something takes them.
That's the dark thought, isn't it?
Okay, let's connect back to something more historical, maybe. You mentioned Hollow Earth, but what about closer to the surface? Atlantis.
Ah, yes. The Atlantis connection. Remember the stalactites?
Proving it was dry land.
Exactly. Which means whole landscapes that are now deep underwater were once above the surface. Cities, structures, who knows?
So could the blue hole be part of that? Maybe the ruins of an Atlantean temple or something? A structure that collapsed and got flooded?
That's the theory. And it connects back to those divers reporting unnatural shapes. Columns, maybe. Steps. Doorways carved in the rock.
Are they just seeing shapes in the shadows? Pareidolia? Or actual ruins?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yes.
Are they just natural formations worn down over millennia, or are they remnants of a forgotten world? And, the Caribbean is one of the places often suggested as a possible location for Atlantis.
It all feeds into the mystery, doesn't it? Even the name. The Black Hole of Belize.
Right. It's evocative.
Yeah.
And you can see why. From above, it just looks bottomless, like it's sucking in the light, the color, everything around it.
Like a void.
Exactly. Like it pulls everything in: light, sound, maybe even people.
Is there any weird physics connection?
Well, it's mostly speculation, maybe half joking sometimes, but yeah. Some physicists have wondered if unique geological spots like this could have weird gravitational effects, anomalies.
Like a mini gravity well, bending the laws of physics.
It sounds like science fiction, I know. But it's probably more a reflection of how little we still understand about the deep ocean. What was it, 80% of the ocean is still unexplored?
Something like that, a staggering amount.
So who knows what weirdness is down there?
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. Or water, I guess. Let's try to wrap our heads around this. What is the Great Blue Hole?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? We have the scientific explanation.
Yeah.
A natural sinkhole. A geological marvel.
But then we have all these other layers. A sacred Mayan portal to the underworld. Xibalba.
An alien beacon, maybe? A cosmic signpost?
A doorway to another dimension. A tear in reality.
The ruins of Atlantis, swallowed by the sea.
Or even an entrance to a hidden hollow earth.
Maybe it's a bit of all of them. Or maybe. None of them are quite right.
But the mystery itself is powerful.
Incredibly powerful. Because every time humanity has really looked into the unknown space, the deep sea, our own past, we find things that challenge us, things we can't easily explain.
And the Great Blue Hole is just one of the most perfect contained examples of that unknown right here on Earth.
Exactly. It really is. And maybe that's the point.
What do you mean?
Maybe some mysteries aren't meant to be completely solved. Some holes aren't meant to be filled. Some doors aren't meant to be opened. The Great Blue Hole. It's more than just geology. It acts like a mirror, reflecting our deepest fears, our biggest myths, our human need to find answers, even when there might not be simple ones.
Whether it's just a cave or a portal or alien-made, it pushes us.
It pushes us right up against the limits of what we think we know.
So maybe the real question isn't what's down there.
Maybe not. Maybe the deeper question is, why are we so convinced that something extraordinary must be down there?
Because sometimes the mysteries we stare into,
They feel like they're staring right back.